Hello, Jim Larkey, President at Safety Connections, and my leadership blurb for the week of August 18th, 2025. I just think I want to take a topic that's critical. It's out there, and I don't think it gets enough discussion. Leadership and listening. Leaders who listen well create company cultures where people feel heard. And I can tell you, I've been as guilty as the next one when it comes to this topic. People want to feel valued and engaged. In addition, employees who experience high quality listening, feedback is there's much greater levels of job satisfaction. People describe a good communicator at work. They're usually talking about a good presenter, not a great listener. In fact, I feel there's a lot of focus on building, not on listening skills, but mostly on other education and training. And folks, that to me is a mistake. Leaders who listen well, I think, create a good company culture where people feel heard, valued, and engaged. Listening, I believe, ranks very high when asking employees their feedback, above conversing or presenting, respectively. This, to me, is why listening is a core value and is indeed a trainable skill and a game changer for anyone in a leadership position. If you're interested in becoming a better listener yourself, I want to share what I believe to be a technique today. Number one, listen until the end. And I still run into that issue. At least I feel that. You're likely familiar with poor listening skills, planning what to say while the other person's still speaking, interrupting with a solution or jumping in with a similar story. That happened to me too, or whatever the case might be. Comments like that often occur when the listener is trying to find a way to connect. They can also be the result of a social anxiety, if you will, when the listener feels nervous about how they'll contribute to the discussion and is trying to think ahead. The problem is, when you speak too soon or turn the conversation back towards yourself, you diminish the quality of the exchange. For many people, it takes a minute to communicate a main point of their message. If you interrupt them or stop listening before they're done, you may miss their meaning entirely, making the response mute. A better approach, how to do it. This is my thought. Pay attention to the behavior during your conversation and try to notice when you turn inward. When you start thinking about what you'll say next, get excited about sharing the solution and reminisce about all the ways you can relate to the other person's story. In these instances, pause. Remind yourself to listen until the end. Once the other person finishes, take a moment to think about what you just heard before responding. The other person will likely appreciate a slower, more thoughtful response than an immediate, possibly irrelevant one. How this looks in practice. Let's say you're in a one-on-one meeting with your direct report. They tell you about their struggle in meeting a deadline, and partway through the conversation, you're tempted to stop listening and start thinking about the solution. Using the listen until the end technique can help you counteract the pressure you feel to reply right away. It will force you to slow your mind down, relax, and be present. You may be surprised by all you're able to absorb this way. My leadership message for the week: listen. Have a great week, everyone.